What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit the like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel, and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled, and I'm very much so appreciative. Thank you so much. Four Finger Wes, you better stop it. Wes Watson, right? A lot of people ask me to do videos about Wes Watson, and it's becoming frivolous at this point. You know, Wes Watson is a character, and we could tear down that character layer by layer by layer by layer, and that ain't gonna change his mentality. It ain't gonna change the way he's thinking. It's gonna take something very drastic to change Wes Watson. And, you know, we do these videos, myself, several other content creators, about Wes Watson, not to poke the bear, not to bully him, not to hurt his feelings, but at the end of the day, to expose the situation of someone who is basically making light of tragedies, of people that are really doing time, of people that are going through hardships. And instead of utilizing that like he does for profit, for financial gain, we want to tell the stories to help people to get out, to not go to prison, to not glorify it. But, you know, to each their own. Every man moves differently. Every bag is different. Every motivation is different. So it is what it is. So I was asked to do a story. You know, I was asked to elaborate and expand upon why Wes Watson is going to have it all bad if he ever goes to prison, and what the Woods truly think about him. Now, to be honest with you, I can't speak for the Wood brothers. You know, do they like coffee? Absolutely. You know, is there a lot of things that they do that I know that they do? Absolutely. But I cannot speak for them per se, because at the end of the day, I'm not a Wood. I've never rocked like that, but I got a lot of homeboys that are, man. You already know Roach, the Superwood. He would not fuck with Wes Watson. He probably would. He'd be like, brother, I'm going to get him all methed out. He's going to lose every one of those fucking muscles, brother. Right? That's just how he would be. But I've talked to several Woods. And when I say Woods, for those that don't understand what Woods are, they're white men. Okay? White men that are incarcerated. That's just the name of their car. Woods is actually short for Pecker Woods, which is, you know, the title that they go up under when they're in prison. Now, there's several different white men in prison. There's Woods, and then, of course, there's the skinheads. The skins, oi. Shout out to the skins. They're more of a political group, more of an organized group, whereas the Woods all come from different backgrounds. Some are, you know, racially motivated. Some aren't. Some just go into prison and kick it with their gente, kick it with their people to do time. Because that's how it is in California prisons. You're going to go with your own, or your own will remind you. And believe me, the way they remind you is very swift, fast, and sharp. That's it. Now, according to Wes Watson, right, he was a Wood, brother. And he always likes to talk about the aggressiveness of the Woods and how crazy and hard they were. But at the same time, not showing any papers of what he was doing. Okay, he's talked about doing shoe programs, being in 4 yards, having people hit, all these different stories that he tells, but it never involves him. He's never the one doing the hitting. He'll be the one slapping his cellie up for some reason, but there's never no repercussions for that. There's always a reason why, because of his size or because of who he is or where he was from, he was able to get away with it. Well, I'm here to tell you straight up. Let me poke a hole through that story. Woods don't play in prison, okay, at all, whatsoever. They might horseplay a little bit. They might sex play a little bit amongst each other just to fuck around. But when it comes to business, when it comes to really getting off where they're mad at, the Woods don't play. They're a dangerous group. They always have been. And they pride themselves on putting demos down, okay? So if Wes Watson was in there slapping up his cellies, choking out his cellies, waking people up, yelling at people and screaming at people, best believe size does not matter. I don't give a fuck how big he is. He wouldn't have had to put nothing in his ass. They'd have did it for him. Okay, you've all seen the movie American History X. That would have been Wes in the shower, face against the shower, going Edward Norton like that. They would have did Wes dirty, okay? It wouldn't have been their peapod they were putting in West, though. Not in California. They'd have put something sharp and tore up off the wall or up off the locker. Now, so when I hear these stories that Wes tells, I laugh, I chuckle to myself because having walked a lot of yards in prison, you know, I know the Woods are a dangerous group. I know there's no way they're going to let some unaffiliated ass motherfucker go into the prison system and start punking people. Okay, it just doesn't happen. You don't just get handed the keys to a yard because of your size or because you might be a little bit more intelligent than someone else. Those llaves, those keys, that status is earned. And not only is it earned through fucking, you know, the work that you put in, but it's also earned, and you kind of fall into place by people you know, how long you've been in prison, where you've been. There's a lot of different things that go into it. Because you got to understand, people like to throw around that word shot caller, and I know Wes did a gang of times, and they like to act like they were that man. But at the end of the day, man, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And if you don't have it, it's hard to get, okay? It's got to be instilled inside you. You got to be born with that. It's like talent. You know, you think LeBron just learned that shit? He was born with that. He got better as he went along, right? So Wes Watson doesn't seem to have been born with them type of qualities, them type of penitentiary qualities. Now, I could be wrong, you know, but I've talked to a few people, and they feel differently. So, how do the Woods feel about Wes Watson? Okay, well, I've talked to a few. I've actually talked to Wood just yesterday, or was it the day before? He jumped on our live. He's a very well-known content creator here on YouTube, several social media platforms. His name's JD Delay. Now, JD Delay has not done time in California. He was in the Oregon system, right? But I can tell you right now, having been in that system myself, you know, it goes off. You know, them Woods hold it down. Depending upon their group that they're from, it's a little bit more different than California rules. But at the end of the day, man, a white man's a white man, and he's gonna fucking feel how he feels. Okay, anyone that's been in prison and done time, it doesn't matter what state, what country, doing time is doing time. It's being away from your family, going through a hardship, a struggle. Some prisons, they might feed you better. Some you might have more program. Some might be a little bit more looser. There might be different politics, rules, and regulations. But at the end of the day, it's still being incarcerated. It's still doing time. And I can tell you right now, where JD Delay did his time, there was definitely things popping. There was definitely things happening at that particular time, you know, within his car and within other cars on the yard. Now, the difference with, say, where JD Delay did his time compared to Wes Watson is not too different, okay? The whites will kick it with their people. They will function within their people. And there will be, you know, a lot of games that are being played, a lot of shit that happens. And you have to be a man and handle your business and prove yourself and earn your letters, your numbers, or whatever it is within the white politics in their fold, right? So when I asked JD Delay, and this is a man that doesn't like to talk about other content creators. That's not his cup of tea. That's not his cup of coffee, brother, right? He doesn't like to really elaborate on, you know, how he feels about other content creators. And I understand that. Just based upon, man, less drama is always the best thing, especially when you're just trying to be in your own lane and do something positive. You don't need negative ass motherfuckers like Four Finger Wes all up in your mix, because he constantly brings drama and hatred and envy and all these different fucking bad things to the pot. It's what he puts in it. That's what he can contribute, right? Lies, propaganda, and bullshit. So anyways, when I asked him about Wes, you know, he basically said, and I've done a short on it, you know, he didn't want to expand upon Wes just because he didn't feel Wes deserved that. But he did say that, you know, some of the things Wes said or says, he didn't stand on. He doesn't stand on. Case in point, the P Diddy incident. Okay, we all know that P Diddy has not been convicted of a crime, but it's out there. You know, it's out there. We've seen on tape what he did to Cassie. A man doing that to a woman is always frowned upon. It's never looked at in a good way. I don't give a fuck which way you kind of try to slice it and cut it. There's so many people, well, she used to beat on me. Well, I mean, it is what it is, bro. That's on you for being a truck and a assault gun, having an old lady that smacks on you, right? You could have bounced. There's also situations where, you know, guys will try to flip it. Man, I don't give a fuck, bro. Anybody can get it. Yeah, I know. Only the guy that be punking you all the time, he's not getting it. You know what I mean? It's usually your old lady. You know, I've seen type of guys that go to work, man, get shit talked to them, get clowned on, then they go back home and they beat on their old lady because they're mad at that guy, right? Okay, P Diddy, we know what you are. You know, and so with that, and then all these other cases people are talking about and that he's being indicted for currently, there's a grand jury sitting down. You know, you would think that people that have been in prison, convicts that know what time it is, that talk all that high power shit about chomos and pedos and this and that, would want to stay away from this guy. Okay, it's not Wes's obligation. There was people like, why didn't Wes smash on fucking P Diddy when he seen him? Well, I'll tell you 2 reasons why he did it. First, he's not obligated to do that. Okay, he doesn't have to. Second of all, that's not his ethnicity. Okay, in the California prison system, you're taught something. You never put hands on someone from a different, people like to say race, I say ethnicity, but we'll just say race for today, right? You never put hands on someone from another race. You know, you try not to disrespect anyone from another race because that's going to put all your people in jeopardy. And it's all about safety and security in prison. And best believe, man, if you put your people in jeopardy for some frivolous ass bullshit, you know, you're going to be the one at the end of the day that pays the final fucking conclusion. The final conclusion is going to be done on you. I've seen it happen so many times. You know, people get in there and they're not laced properly. And they think that just because they're Woods or they're North or they're South or they're Black, that it's automatically they're against everybody. So automatically they have a chip on their shoulder and they feel that they could disrespect other people or that they fucking are harder or more superior than other people. And what happens is they don't learn that in prison, everything, the foundation of prison, everything in California, that system is built on a level of respect. And if you don't have it, or if you're not showing it or giving it, man, that could set the yard off. The yard is a powder keg and everyone's sitting on it, right? It could blow up immediately. And when it does, there's going to be investigations that are conducted. Now, everyone's going to ride. Right or wrong, you're going to get off with your homeboy. It is what it is. We'll talk about it in the back later. When I say the back, the oil, right? We'll discuss it. We'll find out exactly who started this shit and why it started. But until then, everybody must participate. And there's going to be people that are dropped. There's going to be people life flighted. There's going to be bodies. Because when something's popping, especially with a different group, you know, everyone gets it to the fullest. It's just what it is. So, you know, Wes Watson, when he's seen P Diddy as an ex-convict who talks or has talked that high power shit about chomos and punks and pedophiles and all that, he was not obligated to do anything. But what he shouldn't have done is go kick it with them and be a fuckboy and fanboy, right? And like JD DeLay said, this guy had half a chubby in his tight-ass acid-washed pants, right? He ran up on P Diddy. P Diddy was shocked, didn't know who the fuck he was, and he immediately started showing him social media. And he was trying to get on. He was trying to get invited to one of them P Diddy parties, right? He was trying to show him what Four Finger West really means, right? Or he was trying to see what P Diddy's four fingers mean. At the end of the day, someone who's going through a situation like that, as an ex-convict, you stay the fuck away from him, okay? You just see him. He could have pulled out his phone like, look at this sucker right here, man. I don't want it. Turned it on himself. I don't want nothing to do with this guy. You guys already know what it is. My life is like a movie, homie, but it ain't going to be his movie. And he could have pushed, and we'd have gained a little bit of respect for that. Not because he thinks he's better than someone else, but because he had chose to stay away from that situation. Instead, Wes ran up on him like a fucking fanboy and said, here, take that. Here, take that, right? Basically gave him his fucking nalgas. Gave him his ass. And people seen that. That shows the character of a man willing to do anything for clout, willing to do anything for fame, willing to sell his soul for fame. Okay? It is what it is. You know, when you talk all this high power shit about being on level 4 yards and being in prison and doing certain things a certain way, you never forget that. See, it's like riding a bike. This is what I tell people. You know, I could sit and have a conversation with, say, Dubs or any other ex-convict that's been locked up, and we just click. We know some of the same people. We know the way the yards move. We know about the canteen. We know about packages. We know about visiting. There's certain things that we all understand and know about because these are commonplace. These are things that happen. Doesn't matter what ethnicity or race you are. Everyone gets the same shit. It's what you do with it, right? But when we're hearing Wes's stories, his narrative is different. He was on a whole different planet than what we were doing time in, right? And it makes us chuckle and laugh and think about it and say, damn, this motherfucker be doing too much. Now, people have asked, if you see Wes, you don't want to fight him. I don't want to fight him. Why? What am I going to gain out of finding someone like Wes? You know, I don't want him to lose all his money. He wants to sue up me. He wants me to lose my money. I ain't even got no money. This motherfucker wants to utilize the money that he's taken from hard-working people, you know, by manipulation, and use it to get a lawyer to sue me to take some more hard-working money. Sorry, Wes, you ain't gonna get nothing but countersued immediately. That's just the way it's going. I ain't no gangster. Motherfucker, I will countersue you in a heartbeat. You fuck around and be fucking on the stand like, oh, you know this guy. I'll be like, uh-huh, bitch, right? Straight up. But anyways, I asked not only JD Delay, but several Woods. And when JD Delay said about Wes Watson and how they feel about him or what they think would happen, and in the words of JD Delay, he said, you better never go back to prison, buddy. I believe that's the truth. I believe not only because he's a content creator and because he said several people's names in his stories, and they're feeling a certain type of way, but also, I think as Woods, as white men, they would feel obligated to at least check him and get at him a certain way because he has definitely made the white man look different, you know, on social media. You know, Wes has definitely, and he doesn't owe anything to anyone. He did his time. Doesn't matter how much time it was. I know he lied. He did 8, 9 years, 10 years, 15 years. I mean, he's already told so many different stories. But at the same time, they would feel obligated to at least see where his head's at. See, there's things you could do and things you can't do in prison when you're a part of a prison gang or a group, right? And one thing you cannot do is lie about who you know or what you've been about, your status or anything like that. Because best believe if you ever find yourself incarcerated again, the first thing that people are going to do is be like, hey, bro, who do you know? Where have you been? What's up with it, right? And if you can't answer those questions correctly, then automatically you lose your respect and you're not trusted. And if you're not trusted on a particular yard, you're probably going to get dusted on that particular yard. So I don't see Wes being able to function on an active general population yard like he says he would or was and just kick it. You know, he knows this and we know this. He knows this even more so. If he was really around some real Woods and really around that Shark Tank comes, then he knows he would be bit immediately. You know, so I asked not only that Wood, JD Delay, but several others, and they all had the same resounding, conclusive, fucking factual determination on Wes. And they said that fool's full of shit. He better never go back. Okay? I don't think Wes Watson intends to go back to prison. I don't think he cares. I think that's why he acts the way he acts, because he knows deep down inside he's not out there doing crime. But anything can happen on any given Sunday. You know, anybody can win and anybody can lose. What goes up must come down. So Wes Watson needs to understand that at the end of the day, even myself, man, we could find ourselves back in a county jail, back in a prison system where it's like, fuck, bro, now we're going to have to deal with the repercussions for our actions. You know, as a content creator, a lot of people don't like that shit. There's a lot of clandestine shit that happens in prison, a lot of shit that they don't want spoken on, just because they don't want it, or because, you know, it makes them feel a certain type of way. You know, people are in there looking for any type of drama, just like out here. Drama is the shit, right? And prison, there's a lot of drama, usually within your own people. There's never a time where the yards just kick it and everyone's out there relaxing. There's always something bubbling in the back burner. There's always something going on. That's how prison is, man. That's what makes it so dangerous, is when you think everything's all good, it isn't. When you wake up in the morning and say, man, I'm going to go to yard, it's all good today, you're probably going to get stabbed on that yard. See, it wasn't all that good. Now, with Wes Watson, I don't think he's invited with open arms back to the yard, but I don't think he truly cares. You know, the type of person he is, the narcissistic behaviors that he has displayed on several occasions, the lies that he has told, have already put him in a situation where, you know, he knows that if he was to ever go back, man, it'd be ugly. Let's just be real. You know, I asked another Wood brother, can't use his name, man. I asked him, and he's a solid dude, over 35 years in and out of prison, just fucking a dangerous dude, man. The type of dude I don't even like to talk to on the phone because his breath is piercing, right? And this guy, I asked him about Wes, and he laughed for 2 minutes straight. And he said, brother, don't ask me about that fuck boy, right? That's exactly what he said. And I was like, oh, my bad, bro. He was like, brother, you already know what it is with him. And I said, yeah. He said, that guy is not part of us anymore. He ceased to be white, brother. And I was like, oh, shit. That's some serious stuff. Now, I had a family member that was in Oklahoma. Okay. Now, according to Wes, he's been all over the place in the state of California, 4 yards, imaginary 4 yards, and all this shit. And we all have figured out, man, through other content creators that was never the case. He literally went from Donovan Reception to Oklahoma or Arizona or wherever the fuck he went. But my family member was with him in Oklahoma. Facts. And I wanted him to be honest with me when I asked him. You know, I said, who is Wes Watson, bro? How was he there? Tell the truth. He said, motherfucker, why would I lie? He said, look, he was just a regular white guy. So was he a shot caller and having people hit? And he was like, fuck no, bro. That dude was over there doing dips with blacks. I said, what? He said, yes. He said, man, that fool was not functioning on that level at all. And I said, yeah, man, you see him on YouTube? He said, I seen him, bro. But that was not the Wes Watson I knew. The Wes Watson I knew was a decent dude. You know, you see him on the yard. Hey, what's up, Wood? What's up, brother? That's it. He said he wasn't any type of this fucking screaming, yelling, hair plugged for men character that people think he is, or that he portrays, right? And I knew this. I just kind of wanted to do my homework on it. So I actually got in contact with someone who does the Wes Watson program. Someone who's got involved with the shenanigans, right? The charlatan, the snake oil salesman fucking program. And he had a crazy story to tell me. So I said, well, what happened, bro? And he said, you know, he watched Wes Watson. He wanted to build upon his self-esteem and his body and do all that, man. To each their own, man. Just go to the fucking gym and do some push-ups at your pad. You know, that's all I could tell you. You guys want to pay me $20,000 to tell you what's up? I'll tell you, bro. Push-ups, push-ups, push-ups. That's it. That's all it takes. Eat better, drink water, and do push-ups. Boom. There you go. Not everyone's built with a certain frame. Not everyone's going to get fucking trend-roided Wes Watson body. But if you want to fucking be healthy and feel good and look better, work out. That's it. That's all you got to do. All that life lessons, and I could teach you how are you going to take life lessons from someone, man, that was in prison that's just barely now doing something in life? Oh, yeah, he's a multimillionaire. Oh, yeah, he's got Lamborghinis and all that. That's not what life is all about. Life is all about being with your family, having your freedom, raising your children, teaching others, man, to do better than you did yourself. Not showing off to people, compounding fucking thoughts in their head that they are a piece of shit, tearing them down, because that's the pimp and hoe effect. Wes is trying to be the pimp and he's trying to make you his hoe. Anyway, so I talked to this dude and I was like, hey, bro, how do you feel? And he was like, bro, I got nothing out of that program, bro. He was like, I spent thousands of dollars with this dude. He goes, he sent me a little list of like a fucking menu of non-carb diet and a little workout routine this big, bro. And he told me that I was eligible for a 20-minute phone call. When I called him over and over again, this guy screamed at me, why am I wasting his time? Who the fuck am I? I'm gonna fuck boy, he'll kill me. All these different things. And he goes, and I paid thousands for it. He goes, I've never felt so burnt in my life. Well, let me explain to you what's gonna happen, Wes. There's a lot of these people, man, you can't play with their emotions. You can't take their hard-earned money and just think you're gonna get away with it. You, my friend, might get sued, right? And I would hate to say it and hate to see you back in the ghetto that you will go, but, you know, it's a situation where you're burning people, you're doing people dirty, bro. You were not all that just because you got some size and all that. Well, pull up, I'm at the gym, we could do something. You ain't gonna do nothing, bro. You gonna call the police, bro. That's it. Shot caller? Nah, cop caller. That's real talk. Anyways, man, you know, the Woods, that's how they feel about him. They think that this guy is a flaming, fraudulent, Bud Light drinking, tight shirt wearing, even tighter pants wearing, 4 fingers sticking up his asshole type individual. And guess what? They're absolutely right. With that being said, I'm not here to ridicule or clown Wes. I'm here to fucking keep it real. And that's just what it is. A lot of people don't like me and they make videos about me every day saying this and that. And I understand. And again, man, that's not the type of person I want to be. I want to help people. I don't want to hurt people. I'm trying to help Wes by making these videos to let him know exactly what people are thinking. And hopefully he can get back to the drawing board, tear that shit down, man, and come back as a better person. Because that's what we're all in. That's what we want to see. is better people, man. You know, anyone who's willing to, and there's going to be people in the DMs, you're just jealous. I'm not jealous, bro. I'm telling you the way it is. You know, hey, you're watching me, so keep on watching. With that being said, Moose Move with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, about the end of the day, I'm going to be there, man. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you now, man. It ain't that serious. This is the gun. Bang, bang.